Welcome to the CET Experience 2024. We are in our presentation, Crafting the Future Narrative, Visionary Insights from Furniture Nerds. Ignite the spark of inspiration together with Kimiko furniture nerds, industry disruptors, and advocacy leaders while we embark on a quest to shape the future of our industry. Hear anecdotes of industry shifts and the collective vision for a reimagined role. Gain practical tools for driving impactful change in dealer design, harnessing the power of connectivity and advocacy.
Hi, my name is Lisa Hogan. I'm Director of Spec Services at Kimiko Designs.
My name is Tamara Campbell. I am the healthcare project lead, and also I lead the Steelcase team at Kimiko Designs.
Hello, my name is Justin Keller, and I am the Herman Miller team lead over at Kimiko Designs.
Who is Kimiko Designs? Well, we have 3 different divisions. We have Spec Services, where we assist primarily North American dealers with drawings, specs, renderings, audits, pretty much anything dealer designers do except order furniture. We also have Furniture Planning, where we assist end users, design firms, and brokers with project management on their furniture projects. And lastly, we have Kimiko Green, which is a community of facilities and real estate leaders to share and inspire sustainable furniture practices.
Today is meant to be an open discussion, and since this recording is for our virtual participants, we have actually included some pause to consider slides that would be part of the discussion we will be having in person. Please take these and either reflect yourself or grab a team member or another furniture friend and really reflect and think about some of the answers on this so that you can get the most out of this presentation.
So let's discuss the past. We must acknowledge where we've been to know where we're going. When I started out in 1999, I was working for a Knoll dealership. I was using DOS-based software such as IntelliCon and Spec Plus. 8x8 stations seemed pretty small. Every workstation had a huge corner work surface to accommodate a single CRT monitor. We printed directions from MapQuest to get to our clients' offices. And when we arrived, we saw tall mauve panels with forest green trim as far as the eye could see. And their overheads were full of their prized Beanie Baby collections. When we placed orders and requested specials, they were all sent via fax machine. We had libraries filled with binders for days, with price books, finish cards, and brochures constantly missing and often out of date. We didn't create renderings, just black and white line drawings. But, evolution then brought CAP, Z-Axis, SketchUp, MRL, and finally CET.
Back when I entered the design world, it felt like I had one foot in the past and one in the future. In college, we were still hand rendering designs at drafting tables, but we were also diving into different 3D design programs regularly. It was this kind of weird blend of old and new. And by the time I joined a dealership in 2016, we were still making physical project boards for some clients, but those were becoming rare. And I was working with Z-axis and cap symbols because Herman Miller had just started their CET catalogs and my dealership had not yet embraced CET. Once CET was widely adopted, everything seemed to kind of take off. Suddenly we were able to easily create these amazing high-end renderings. VR became a game changer and virtual fly-throughs and live designs were being requested left and right. Speaking of how far we've come, let's revisit some of the CET topics Kimiko has tackled in the past.
We have covered topics since 2019, ranging from team building and management to communication hacks and even tech insider tricks. My first CET conference was actually in 2018, and I've attended every year because the connections and lessons we can share with each other are unparalleled. My designer advocacy spark was ignited in 2018's keynote speaker Amanda Schneider talking about the rise of the dealer designer. And in 2019, I actually missed the Kimiko talk that Ginger and Diane gave, but the designers around me on the shuttle could not stop talking about it. So when I got home, I looked Kimiko up, and now I've been with Kimiko for almost 5 years. You will never know what you'll gain from the conference. This is a slide to pause and consider. And our past has brought us here to the present and our current landscape. We actually sent out a survey to dealer designers to get some feedback. And one of the things that we heard back in the last 5 years, the significant changes are that everyone wants more. It's more options, more manufacturers, more detailed presentations, quicker turnaround times. Just like Amazon Prime, everybody wants things in 2 days. And we've been through a lot, especially since 2020. Think of how much has changed with your company in just those 4 years. There are dealerships who are finding success for all sorts of hurdles. Use the time here to make opportunities to interact with others and connect. We are not competition here. You should believe in your own power and the power of designers. Let's become a design hype squad. Let's start with some of the big hot topics and some suggested solutions and open dialogue.
So we asked some questions about the role of the dealer designer. As you can see, the top 5 role functions are quote requests, drawings and specifications, RFPs, presentations, and training new employees. I know of many dealerships who have their designers do all the things. I understand that can give more consistency to a project, but if designers feel overworked, we wanted to know what responsibilities could easily be shifted to others in the company where a design degree doesn't matter. The top 5 were discounting, quote requests, presentations, order entry, and project management. All these items could help relieve the amount of work on your plate. Regarding quote requests, one said it was that they only were required to request quotes when a manufacturer is not already in specification software. Another mentioned that they feel it's time-consuming and that they feel bad for the reps having to price out so many options when they may not be selected for the project. So what can we do to help us manage these responsibilities? We encourage joint conversations and meetings between design, sales, management, and installation teams to improve communication and alignment on client needs. This would enhance teamwork and ensure that design aligns with sales goals, as well as improving overall client satisfaction. So we'd like you to pause and think about the next 3 questions.
Now let's talk about what's slowing us down. We recently asked designers what tasks are eating up most of your time in your projects. The top answers are really no surprise to any of us. Multiple options, presentations, and specifications were the top 3, and tasks like space planning and finish selection did not even come close. A lot of designers also shared that they don't get to attend client meetings as often as they would like, and they leave most of the client communication to the sales team. It can sometimes feel like we're going in circles with design plans that could have been streamlined if we had been a part of that initial meeting in the first place. Another major insight was that sales teams need to set more realistic expectations around timelines and budgets. This can cause some tension between sales and design, but it's an essential step of the process to make sure we have enough time to achieve the level of work that is expected of us. Now let's talk about some possible solutions to these issues. So a lot of us did not get formal training on how to navigate client interactions, but it could be a potential time saver to have the skill set to lead those conversations ourselves. This could help reduce unnecessary revisions and back and forth between sales, clients, and design, and give the designer more confidence when navigating those kinds of interactions. Time blocking can also be a very useful tool. Imagine a few uninterrupted hours to knock out a project or a day or 2 per week that you can block out for client meetings. Having these set aside days, times, or hours to focus on certain tasks can help manage the overwhelming amount of tasks that you have on your plate. That is, as long as your sales team honors those times. Educating sales teams. Do you ever feel like sales doesn't fully understand what goes into our design work? Something as simple as changing a layout might seem quick to them, but we all know all the steps it often takes just to make one small change. Educating them on really the amount of time and work that goes into each of our revisions really can help them understand and get a full idea of why sometimes things take longer than they expect them to. Remember, most salespeople have no design background at all. And of course, we're going to touch on outsourcing. I know when I was at a dealership, sometimes the only way to catch a break was to send off some projects to an outsourcing team. They can help out with install prints, double checks, or even take on full projects, freeing up some of your time to focus on other things. I know even the thought of pulling together the info and sending the project to someone else sometimes seems daunting, but taking just 15 to 20 minutes for a quick call with an outsourcing designer can save you hours of time in the long run.
The topic of AI and technology is one of those conversations that is ongoing and always seems to be up in the air. When we asked our design survey participants, there were some mixed answers. 58 did not have any concerns about AI. Only 8% had an active concern. This was interesting because most other surveys for the design industry as a whole are showing more concern. As one response said, there will always need to be a human element, and another, clients do not understand what they want to properly input into AI. I also want to point out that AI also runs a whole spectrum from automation to fully generative models, and we have the ability to navigate the AI world to suit us. Listen, software companies, yes, including CET, want you to use their software. That means it has to work for you. Be vocal about what you want it to do and what you don't want it to do. We heard repeatedly if it could help with a presentation and finish sheets, and then thought starters and renderings were some other key responses. But tech companies can't give you features that it doesn't know that you need. But I also know that some are hesitant to be the one to bring up a concern. Find a friend that is loud and will raise those concerns. I also want to emphasize that you don't have to know how to solve the problem, just bring the problem to them. But technology will only get us so far, though. As we mentioned, there is a human element. That's us. And the top three things to be happy at work is pay, balance, and purpose. And first, pay. 42% of our survey respondents feel they are paid appropriately for their role and responsibilities. Only 42%. I always encourage keeping a list of wins and kudos throughout the year to review with management. And for managers, you need at bare minimum a yearly review process. Next is balance. 17% of respondents to our survey said there are no flex work from home days available at their dealership. The most popular appeared to be one flex day weekly. We notice a lot of designers like to use those work from home days as their focus time to get things done without interruption. There was also a response that the commute was brutal, and I definitely second that. I was commuting 1.5 to 2 hours a day just 5 years ago. And finally, we need purpose. Most frequently, this can look like growth opportunities, including account managers, senior design titles, or even hybrid sales and design. However, leadership and growth is not always a higher title for some. Sometimes it's the permission to focus on different areas like training, standards, documenting processes, managing outsourcing, the library, and technology. And if the role isn't there, ask for it. You can start by opening a discussion about who may want to take on things that others want off their plate. I enjoy training new hires. That doesn't always have to be a design manager's responsibility to do all the training. Relieve some of the pressure by spreading responsibilities amongst coworkers.
Sustainability is a hot topic these days. Did you know that the U.S. EPA estimates that there are 17 billion pounds of office assets dumped into the landfill each year? Let's take an Office Depot chair versus a contract grade task chair. Over the course of 10 years, a client will only need to purchase one contract grade task chair versus 3 to 4 office fast furniture chairs. If a company has 1,000 employees, can you imagine how many chairs end up in a landfill? We were curious about who is making sustainability a priority when specifying furniture. 83% said A&D firms. The other 17% said end users, clients, or facility managers. So, what can we as dealer designers do to begin incorporating sustainable practices in our daily work? Ask questions on sustainability practices. Start conversations with both clients and manufacturers. Specify manufacturers that prioritize circularity, such as recycled content, designing products for reuse, take-back programs, ease of disassemble, and ability to recycle at end of life. Specify products with longevity to extend the life cycle. Prioritize certifications that are third-party verified and based on multiple attributes. Provide day 2 services that help extend the life cycle of products, such as maintenance and cleaning, refurbishment, reupholstering, etc. Hint, hint, a lot of these solutions can be found in the free downloadable Kimiko Green playbooks found on our website.
Now that we've discussed the current work landscape, let's turn our attention to the future of our design roles and discuss how we can actively shape that future. Based on our insights, we formed some bold predictions on what the design world could look like in the next 5 to 10 years. We think that design will become more human-centric, focusing on creating more inclusive environments that enhance collaboration, creativity, and connection, while addressing neurodiversity and accessibility. As work-life balance remains a top priority, we'll begin to incorporate more spaces that allow for rejuvenation, like meditation rooms, quiet zones, or even adaptable workstations that promote movement and relaxation throughout the day. The future will also center on sustainability and ethical practices, with a focus on using eco-conscious materials and circular design, and prioritizing transparency in the supply chain and selecting products with longevity in mind. Designers will align their work with a holistic approach that benefits both people and the planet. AI will also transform our roles by streamlining workflows and enabling smarter and more personalized solutions. With AI-powered tools, designers can quickly analyze client preferences, predict trends, and optimize space layouts. This technology will also allow for real-time adjustments, making it easier to adapt designs to individual needs, ultimately enhancing both creativity and efficiency. Imagine how much time could be saved if AI could handle specs and install prints for us. Now let's talk about the importance of building a community where we can connect and collaborate to make this future a reality.
Wow, we've covered a lot of territory, and we appreciate your involvement in this discussion. But what comes next?
The CET experience is the perfect opportunity to connect with fellow designers, especially those from different backgrounds. Take a moment to chat with someone during breakfast or dinner, or even strike up a conversation with someone right here in this room. These connections will give you a network of people to reach out to after the conference to share ideas and continue the conversation. Use tools that are already in place, such as Design Pop or your local ASID, IIDA chapters, even manufacturer chats or CUT forums, to come together as a community and foster the changes that we discussed today. And remember why you got into this field. It's a unique and exciting job to have.
Hey, don't forget to pat yourself on the back for what you have already accomplished. And then bring that energy to shape the future. Participate, participate, participate. Find a way that works best for you. You will get out of it what you put into it. You can connect with Kimiko by signing up for our refreshed and revamped monthly newsletter that includes insights, tips and tricks, and information on upcoming webinars. We'll be giving a webinar coming up in a few weeks on outsourcing best practices. You can always connect with us on LinkedIn as well. Anyone that is a technology nerd, definitely connect with me. I'm Tamara. And if you're interested in the design survey, we have left it open if you'd like to fill it out and give us more statistics. Please reach out to any of us by email or LinkedIn and we can send that over. We also like creating videos and trainings, so reach out to us and let us know what else you want to learn. And lastly, we definitely just want to thank you for taking the time to watch the recording of the video, and we really hope that you can get something out of it. I know it's harder when it's virtual instead of in person, and we still want you to feel like you can connect. So please reach out to us if you want to connect. If you want to find other people to connect with, our network is pretty vast. And we hope you have a great day.